The headline says it all. Former Seattle City Council member Tanya Woo finds a person. It was actually a whacked out, homeless drug addict asleep in her car's backseat. How did he get there? Did she leave her car unlocked? No, she didn't. Let's get into it. Here we go. Watch a quick video on it. I mean, don't you wanna? Let's go for it. Here we go.
And Mary, Tanya Woo tells me she does not want her experience to cloud people's perceptions of the CID, especially as businesses are working to get people back to the neighborhood. She first posted about this on social media, and now she says what happened is shining a light on the need for more resources and outreach in that area. Plastic now covers the smashed out window of Tanya Woo's car parked near the I-5 overpass on King Street. She didn't realize at the time of the break-in that would not be her only discovery.
I saw that he had broken my window and reached in and opened the door to get inside.
The business owner and former city council member tells us she unlocked her car door, sat in the driver's seat, then was startled to see out of the corner of her eye there was a hooded man sleeping in the back seat.
I was just shocked. I just stared at him for a few minutes. I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be happening.
She tried waking him, but there was no movement, so she flagged down a men's shelter volunteer to help. For the first time, the man was alert, but then reportedly slammed the car door shut and went back to sleep.
He goes back to sleep. Hey, go F yourselves. I just had some good, really strong fetty. I'm kind of passing out. I found your car. I broke in. Sorry about the glass, but I'm going back to sleep. I'm not getting out. Go F yourself. You're going to have to haul me out of here. Don't care. Don't care. That is the message, right? Could not give a rip.
He was on a substance. I'm not entirely sure. My car smells like metal, possibly.
So he's smoking fentanyl in there. He got in there, smoked a little fetty, and he's taking a nap, as you do. This is standard operating procedure in Seattle. But hey, don't be afraid to come down to the International District in Seattle. It's a party. It's literally a party waiting to happen.
Fentanyl. He refused to leave, which is very odd.
Ultimately, police showed up and reportedly dragged him out of the back seat.
They go back, just like before. That totally is not a good idea. We don't want the homeless people so much.
Woo believes with the attention on nearby 12th and Jackson that many in need of shelter or other services have simply moved to another block, whether that's here on King Street or on Weller.
We definitely need more outreach workers, more resources to try to help people get inside.
Getting inside ain't got nothing to do with it. Getting people off the hooch. That's what it's all about. Getting people off the drugs. They don't want to do that. Getting them out of the lifestyle. They don't want to do that. They just want to keep doing their thing. This is the International District. This is 12th and South Jackson. We're going to read about it, but this is the area that had that stabbing that we had a few months ago where you had 10 people stabbed inside of 37 hours. I mean, just some absolute insanity. One of the thoughts I was thinking about was like, who leaves their car? And it's not just me saying this. Who leaves their car at 12th and Jackson and just expects it to be okay all day after meetings? I mean, do you really park? I wouldn't park there. I don't even like to slow down when I go through this intersection, 12th and Jackson. The International District, the Asian community has been absolutely screwed throughout this process because they just don't have a lot of representation. Asian community is absolutely bent over and taken it because, let's just move a bunch of rehab houses in and, let's try and jam this down their throat. They won't say anything. It's the CID, right? It's a Chinatown International District. They'll take it. They'll just take it. Well, it's gotten really, really, really bad. And it's one of the two worst spots in all of Seattle. The other one being the Blade, Pike and Pine at 3rd Avenue in downtown, 2 blocks away from the Pike Place Market. Plastic now covers the smashed out window of Chinatown International District businesswoman Tanya Woo's car, parked for the I-5 overpass and King Street. That's right there. Former city council member tells Como News someone broke into her parked car Thursday evening, fell asleep in the back seat, then refused to leave. Yeah, but they did some drugs in there. So, I mean, they were productive. They got done what they needed to do. They had a very short checklist, and it was break window, get into car, smoke drugs, go to sleep. That's a standard afternoon in Seattle. I mean, come on now. She first posted about it on social media and now says that what happened sheds light on the need for more outreach. Your troubled 12th and Jackson. You need to have consequences for these folks. You don't have any consequences. That is what allows somebody to think that this is okay to do and they won't end up in jail. You know why? Because they won't end up in jail. She explained how she unlocked the car door after a day of meetings on Thursday. But what I can't get over is leaving my car anywhere remotely close to this, right? Who's doing that? Your car is just, it's either going to get stolen or it's going to get broken into. Possibly both, right? Here's the next comment that kind of got me. Person broke the windows in the opposite passenger side door, and I didn't see it until I wondered how he got in. Please always check the back seat when you get into your car. I understand for females that's kind of a mantra, right? But I never check. You know why? Because I typically don't park my car in an area of town where a whacked out homeless drug addict is going to bash the window and then get in my car and have a party for one. Party for uno, por favor. Just going to do it in the back seat. Look at this guy. He's just out and taking a nap. I mean, this guy doesn't have a care in the world. Budget? Doesn't care. Taxes? Oh, hell no. Food? Oh, it's coming. Shelter? You betcha. Got it all day long. Drug paraphernalia? You betcha. The city will give it out. No issues. Find a nice place to light up your fentanyl? Oh, no problem. Any car in the community available. It's yours. Risk of jail? Minimal to none, because we've got these judges that say, you know what? It's not his fault. You're like, well, whose fault is it that the guy bashed out a window and got into somebody's car and then, lit up some fentanyl and then went to sleep and wouldn't get out? Whose fault is that? Yeah. I was just shocked. I stared at him for a few minutes and I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be happening. I saw that he has broken my door with a rock and reached in and opened the door to get inside. They do not care. These folks do not care. We have created a situation where this is okay for them to do. She tried waking him, but there was no movement. So she flagged down a men's shelter volunteer to help. Hey, you, come over here. For the first time, the man was alert, but then reportedly slammed the car door shut and went back to sleep. As you do. Hey, you're interrupting my afternoon. What in the F are you doing? I'm not getting up. I'm just going right back to sleep. Got a good steady supply of that fetty hitting my system. Appears like he was on a substance. Gee, you think? I'm not entirely sure. My car smells like metal, possibly fentanyl, Woo added. He refused to leave, which is very odd. Is it? Is it odd? Did a whacked out nut job homeless he's actually, you know what? I should revise that. He's probably not homeless. It's just in the shelter wherever he lives. If he gets busted for drugs, he's out of there. So he's just using, Woo's car here as, think of it as a portable fentanyl station. Yeah. Like the bus, like the metro, like the light train, not light trail. Ultimately, police arrived and reportedly dragged him out of the back seat. How can we help you, Miss Woo? Can you get the guy out of my car? Yes, we can. Not very far. Drag him out. This comes ahead of the March 3rd reopening of 4 bus stops in the Little Saigon neighborhood after nearly 3 months of closure due to safety concerns because of nonsense like this. And the city basically does nothing. Oh, yeah, it's terrible. It's awful. We need some more housing. We need some more outreach. We need some more, and nothing happens. You get dudes like this who's so emboldened that, hey, smoke some drugs, get in somebody's car. Hey, what could be wrong? That's an afternoon with not a care in the world, right? I mean, I guess you should say he might have the care of, this got a little too much fatty in it. I might die, but he doesn't seem to be too concerned about that, right? Business owners like Henry Koo tell us they're concerned this could bring back the drugs and crime that they have significantly reduced in recent months. Talking about the opening of the The bus station, King County Metro to reopen Seattle bus stops at 12th and Jackson after safety issues. It's always an issue or a concern. It is a concern that a whacked out homeless man on drugs took a kitchen knife and stabbed 10 people in 37 hours. He stabbed one dude, snapped off the blade in the guy's back and left the blade there. I got a knife in my back. Literally, the guy got a knife in his back. So that is what is known as a Seattle safety issue. That's what we're dealing with here. We've got some concerns. We've got some safety issues here. I mean, it's literally like watching Saturday Night Live, watching local news in Seattle. You're like, whoa, that's a good one. Whoa, what happened there? So I immediately texted Jeremy Harris when I saw this story. And I think I texted him, who parks their car at South 12th and Jackson? Who parks their car all day there? And he goes, yeah, it was my thought. Exactly, too. Like, okay. Point is, you should be able to park your car wherever and not have it stolen. Certainly not have a rock thrown in it. Certainly not have a whacked out homeless dude who's on drugs get in there and smoke more drugs. That's the goal, I think, for most major metropolitan cities in North America. That's a goal. That's a goal because then you are avoiding said safety issues. Go to other parts of the country. This is not a thing. It's because we have allowed these whacked out homeless drug addicts who are, just running around to do whatever the F they want without any repercussions. Is this guy going to go to jail? No, because no judge is going to go, oh, the poor man, he was probably just looking for shelter. He didn't have a safe, warm place to smoke his fentanyl. Therefore, he used your car. This is part of that, give to your fellow human being, like in socialism, like in communism. Everybody's got the same stuff. Well, now he's got your car. Now he's got your car. Yeah. Wild stuff. I mean, this is the end result of public policy gone sideways, and it won't go away because these are people. And you can't make people go away. You can't sweep people under the rug. They have this tendency of popping up and then throwing a rock through your back window and getting in your car and having a little one-on-one party. Yeah, that is the downside. This isn't a matter of, you know what? We put up too many stop signs at all the intersections. Let's take those down. And boop, down they come. Issue solved. You know what I mean? Municipal issue solved. This is a social issue where you've given these people too much reign in the form of open air drug use, the form of open air criminal activity, in the form of let homeless people stay wherever the F they want. It's all good. It's fine. It shouldn't be a problem. We've got safety issues. We've got safety concerns. What are we going to do? Well, let's talk about it a lot. Let's talk about getting some more housing in there. Let's talk about getting the unhoused into the housed. But let's not talk about throwing people who do criminal activities in jail. Let's not talk about, getting whacked out fentanyl heads into treatment and into, detox. Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about involuntarily putting people who are whacked out of their you-know-what minds into mental institutions. Let's not talk about that because, we can't go there. But that is happening. That's happening across the United States because the social experiment has so wildly failed. I mean, look at California. Over half of the homelessness in the United States. Poster child for progressive policy. Poster child. How's that working out? Not great. It's not great. It's not really going all that well. When you have nonsense like this does not exactly say, hey, come to the International District. And the International District in Seattle has some amazing food, if that's what you're into. I'm not a huge consumer of food, but I recognize that others are, and go into the CID, International District, Chinatown International District. Go into that is like a big thing for a lot of people. Get to experience that, different culture, that different food. They find it delicious. Maybe they're going shopping for something they can't get at their local, Fred Meyer or QFC or Safeway. You know what I mean? A lot of people do that. In Seattle is a huge international community. Bellevue is a massive international community. Half of the grocery stores just right over here within a half mile are all Asian. They've got their English name and then they've got, the symbols. So we're a melting pot of humanity, but this storyline doesn't exactly scream out, hey, go to the International District in Seattle. It's all good. It's all fine. And then when you've got a bus station, this is the bus station. This is public transport right at 12th and Jackson, right where this woman was with her parked car and her formerly fully enclosed windowed car. It's missing one window. This is that area. And they are now, they've closed the bus stop down for months because of safety issues and safety concerns like this. They had multiple criminal activities all the time. Like this guy right here. So, you imagine that on a continuous basis. After a while, you got to kind of try and break the cycle. All right, bus drivers, no more. And we also had a bus driver get murdered in the U District, just a little bit to the north of here. Bus driver got murdered. He literally got murdered. Early in the morning, he told the guy he had to roll up the window, and the guy's like, no, I'm keeping it down. Something like that, right? And the guy pepper sprayed the bus driver, hauled the bus driver off, stabbed him, killed him. Yeah, that doesn't exactly scream, hey, send your child to the University of Washington, does it? You know what? Most of those parents are going to go, yeah, all big cities, and Seattle's one of them. It's got big city crime, big city issues. They've got safety issues, and they've got safety concerns. This being one of them. You got to do something, but you're not gonna. Why? Because these big liberal cities, they're okay with this. At the end of the day, they're okay with this. Otherwise, they would do something about it. Oh, no. Super Bowl comes to town, you betcha. All-Star game comes to town, you betcha. I mean, we have seen that in action. San Francisco, Seattle, All-Star game. I mean, just textbook. Oh, clean it up. Looks great. Hey, this is awesome. I don't know what they're talking about. And then you got this story. So that's why I read these kind of little one-off crime stories, because it exemplifies what is at the core of the issues of these big blue liberal cities. It's behavior like this. It's safety concerns. It's safety issues like this. Nobody wants to live around that. Nobody wants to work around that. Nobody wants to rent commercial space around that, right? The only thing they want to do around that is pitch a tent. Yeah, on the sidewalk in Seattle in the winter. It's going to be excellent. All right, that's it for me. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.